I guess it's almost related because you're talking about punching things. And in this episode of Courage the Cowardly Dog I watched at least because I came ultra prepared, and I'll be talking about both episodes. There was quite a bit of punching. Hey everyone, welcome to another episode of Pointless Discourse with myself, Hoppocalypse, and Itisdpayne.
Hello, it's me, Itisdpayne.
I ended up making today's meetup even later than usual, so I'm gonna start off with yawning. Please don't mind me.
It's all good because you not only were you being super prepared to make sure you had this episode watched, but you also were making cookies.
That I'm not sharing with the podcast. Or the listeners.
Or the co-host. I don't get any. I'm with everybody else here. I just hear about them, and I was like, well, that's rude. And then she'll like come up with some story. No, Itisdpayne, I can't bring them to PAX Unplugged. They won't last.
I know. What a liar I am. Not being able to preserve cookies for
Look, if you wanted me to
months.
give you spam, and by then I could. Wait, did I show you? I know we were just talking about Christmas themed stuff. Did I show you the Christmas themed spam I got?
You did not.
Okay, hold on. Give me 1 second. I have it right over here.
Yeah, for anyone who is jumping in and doesn't realize why Itisdpayne is talking about spam specifically, Itisdpayne was doing a spam ranking, like a spam off, I guess you would say.
I do find it interesting that as soon as I stopped doing the spam thing and like started paying attention to calories, I don't know if it's correlated, but I did lose like 15 pounds. So I don't think it's fully spam related. But here, I thought I showed this to you, but maybe it was on the other podcast. But here we go.
Figgy pudding spam. It's limited edition, guys. So if you want your Christmas spam...
No, you literally can't.
Oh.
This was 2022's. I had to pay $30 for 2 of these cans for the stupid spam thing. It is not great, but it tastes better than what you would expect for, like, we made a figgy pudding. But here's the thing. I don't know if the camera's going to show it well, but they always put, like, these little art things on here.
Mm-hmm.
That's spam.
Is that how it comes out of the can? Oh, no, those are slices put
those
together
are to
so look like figgy pudding.
For audio listeners, spam, if you never bought spam, they normally have like a picture of what it is, like what flavor it's imitating or whatever. And so this one has a figgy pudding on it, except it's not figgy pudding. It is slices of spam in a like ring to look festive. Yeah. Slide that over there.
Out of sight, out of mind.
It's not out of sight. I just look over to the left and I see it.
Making full eye contact with you.
Awkward eye contact.
But yes.
I have another question for you. Sorry, my brain just went here. I know I interrupted twice.
You're fine.
What do you think would be the best alarm clock?
My immediate vote goes, the best alarm clock is no alarm clock.
If you had to choose. Like,
if I was forced to wake up and needed an alarm clock. I would probably... Well, my current alarm clocks, I basically have playlists on my Spotify that link to my alarms, so it's a different song every day. So I always just get jump scared thinking that I'm going to wake up everybody in the house. That gets me awake.
Isn't there just 2 of you and the rabbits?
Well, when the rabbits know that I'm awake, then they start to make more noise because they go, oh, it's breakfast time.
Yeah.
So I can't move. I have to just slowly roll over, turn off the alarm, and hope they don't notice. They always notice.
I don't know why, but like the only song that's coming in my head is I think "The Kill" by 30 Seconds to Mars.
I don't know if I have a pleasant one because I know the like schmancy alarm clocks are like, oh, we play bird noises. I would hate it.
Yeah, the way my alarm works, and I shouldn't talk too loud because I think the next door neighbor's home, and I'm pretty sure she hears my alarms very well.
Mm.
But I start off with peaceful music as like, hey, good job, you woke up. Um, if I don't, then the punishment comes in where it is a blaring noise. If anyone has played the old Mega Man games,
Mm.
Proto Man, when he comes, he has this whistle. It's like doo doo doo, boop pew, but it's like It's like the 16-bit noise, ear piercingly loud, and I'm just like, I'm up and I hate life. No, but I saw a video today where this person opened up a door to wake up boyfriend, husband, teenager. I don't know. Like the relationship is not clear. But as they open up a door, an army of corgis charge into the room and like just half of them get on the bed, half of them get in the room, and yeah, that boy is awake. by I don't know. He might be suffocated by millions of corgis later, but
Yeah, I don't know. Like, I thought about the idea of if my animals could wake me up, would I want that? And I don't think so. Only because I tend to like startle if I'm woken up and I'm not like mentally prepared to wake up.
you're like
So
those TikToks that I see when it's like you wake up but you forget that your cat is on the end of the bed and they go whoosh, and the cat's just like
I
like
know.
flying through the air.
So I'd hate to like scare my rabbits if they came up to my face and were like, "What's going on?" And I'd like jump and they jump and it turns into a whole thing and I apologize. So
Yeah, I don't know. Like the majority of the time, me waking up is me waking myself up, except for the one time where I might have had paralysis.
not fun.
Yeah, I thought I saw a dead child in my bedroom, and I'm like, and then I found out what I would do if I was having ghost encounters. Because like I saw, like it was the weirdest thing. Like, hey, this is Halloween themed, where I heard like children laughing behind me, and behind me was the wall. Like my back was facing the wall, and like I opened up my eyes, and my brain, I'm just like, that's a dead child just standing in my bedroom, and I'm like, I know that's just shadows. I know that's all it is. It's just light and shadows, and the fact that I can't see more than like a foot in front of my face, and so, but I'm just like, hey, and then like, but I couldn't move, and I just was just staring at me, and I'm. My head is like, as soon as I get to move, I'm gonna punch you so hard, and then that's it wasn't a hard punch, but there was an attempt at a punch once everything reconnected. And then I was like, okay, well, I'm awake now, but I have to go to work in like 4 hours, so it's no point in me being awake.
Ugh,
Why,
the
why can't
worst.
they work better? So, all right.
I guess it's almost related because you're talking about
Mm-hmm.
punching things. And in this
Mm-hmm.
episode of Courage the Cowardly Dog I watched at least because I came ultra prepared and I'll be
Yeah.
talking about both episodes. There was there's quite a bit of punching.
Yeah. Sorry, I see things on my computer. I'm like, what the heck is that?
Is it more ghost children?
It's no. You won't like it, but I'll send it to you.
Don't say that. Why would you open with that?
Because it's what you said.
What were we talking about?
I don't know. But all it is I have I just looked over at my monitor because normally I have Windows covering it, and there's just an image called Cell is good, and it's just a screenshot of Hop saying, like, the Cell's a good watch in comparison. Never thought I see the day I say that.
Well,
It had to
Twizzler Suit mentioned this episode. You've hit your quota.
one of these days, if we mention it enough and we cause a resurgence, which would, like, look, we can take credit for J-Lo getting back in the news. Like, I'm pretty sure she did it all on her own, but
She's been back in the news. Not for
not for
being.
happy reasons.
Yeah, not for her skills. Did you know people have pointed out, sorry, my celebrity thing. I don't know how true it is. I didn't dig too deep into it. But people notice that a lot of the popular JLo songs tend to have backup singers on them, and she only does like contributing vocals, but she gets her full name credit on the song. Again, I don't know how true it is. I didn't pay enough attention. JLo's music was popular when I didn't have coherent thoughts. I would hear her on the radio and just go, "Oh, that's another pop song."
I'm literally sitting here trying to think if I ever heard a J-Lo song.
I'm sure you have. It's just
I
one of those
probably
things.
have, but it's just like, I don't know. I know it's not her song, but if for some reason Shakira comes to my head, and it's just like, is she also the one that? No, wait, I think that's a different person. Does like a cover of "If I Was a Rich Man," like Fiddler on the Roof.
Different. Rich Girl. I said different. Rich Girl is Nelly Furtado. That also does Like a Bird.
Okay. Man.
And then
you gotta be real careful pronouncing that name today.
I could have mispronounced it, but then there's Shakira is the one that did the one really famous maybe it was a FIFA song or one of those like World Cup or big event songs. One of the repeated lines is like South Africa.
Oh, South Africa.
Yeah.
No, hey.
See, you know exactly what I was talking about.
I didn't know she sang that song. I don't even know why I know that song. I think that's all I know of that song.
You see why, like, any other context, if I said that was a song lyric, people would be like, what are you talking about?
Yeah. Oh, man. Yeah, I think I just watch meme videos when they just take that part. I don't know. It's...
The internet is something.
I don't understand celebrities.
That's okay. But what you do understand is how to roll dice.
Yes.
Yes. Ooh, dice. Itisdpayne. Back on topic.
I want to just eat them. No.
I've seen, there's a brand that made those like crunchy candies, but as dice. And someone said that they brought them to one of their D&D games, but didn't tell anybody else that it was candy dice. So they just sat there and started eating their dice, and everyone around the table was like, what is she doing?
Could you imagine? It's like, oh, not one. Well, just start eating them.
But yeah, usually we roll dice to see who rolls a higher number. In these Courage the Cowardly Dog episodes, we have a D20 and a D6 because we're watching basically 26 shorts. But D-Payne is currently making himself look like the parents or
From
other
Coraline.
parents. Yeah, from Coraline.
I
using
made a
dice.
terrible mistake.
I hope your glasses are not scratched.
I need to go get an eye doctor appointment anyway. So.
Yeah, but last week I was underprepared, and this week I'm overprepared. So I'll be talking about both episodes this week to make things even with D-Payne. But an excuse to roll dice is always fun.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I did not roll very well.
I rolled a 42.
Impressive.
Yeah, I rolled my stinky cheese 100 dice, but I gotta do math. Hold up. 22.
10. Good thing lowest one wins today.
Disadvantage. Oh, I still beat you.
I have, what did they do in mini golf? Handicap. I have an extra plus 20.
You get to roll D100s.
Yes, but yeah, so these two episodes of Courage the Cowardly Dog, like I mentioned, one of them has a lot of punching in them. So my segue earlier kind of worked. And
then I ruined it.
And that episode that comes first is the Duck Brothers, which, to put it simply, is like two Australian ducks that argue a lot. Like, that's the crux of the episode. And Courage is like stuck with keeping them from basically murdering each other because they can't get past each other's egos to do what they want to do, which is save their third brother. Because basically what we have is Courage is trying to sleep. Then they see the UFO beam, and Courage naturally screams, tries to get everybody up. And before he can really get help for what's happening, Muriel is abducted in the green beam and brought back with a green helmet. And when Courage is trying to get Eustace to help him, Muriel's already back, I believe. Mm-hmm. Yeah, he doesn't see anything. And we get glimpses of these two ducks where the one brother's like, stop laying eggs. Eggs. And don't tell me what to do. And Muriel immediately with the power of the helmet that starts beeping and everything with an antenna, heads to a military compound by naturally like walking like a robot. And we realize that the Duck brothers have a remote. And I think, what is it? Oh yeah, Muriel gets in the truck, starts driving it. Courage like rides along to try and figure out what's going on. And when she goes inside, the two Duck brothers are underneath the truck with the remote arguing, and Courage just sticks his head under and goes, And the two brothers are like, hey. And aren't prepared to do what's going on. But while the Ducks have control of Muriel ends up wandering through this facility and happens upon a very Italian chef with one of the Duck brothers tied up. And the guy is like considering what to make and turns around and goes, "Oh, an old lady."
They also have the thing where just like when she pulls up in the truck, hey, who goes there? Oh, it's just a sweet old lady. Come right in.
Yeah, and then Courage begins to try and fight the two Duck brothers for the device, and it turns into basically the classic sibling thing, where the two Duck brothers are playing keep away from Courage and like bullying Courage, and eventually end up throwing all the eggs at him. And the one Duck brother is like, "See, of course I should have laid eggs. They're useful." And they're, they can't stop bickering. And then Courage ends up grabbing a hold of the device. Well, I forget what he did to be able to take it from them.
The device, he just has it, I think.
He just manages to get it out.
Like, he pretty much just shows it, like, they're, like, playing, like...
the keep away.
And then I think he just, like, grabs him by the neck and is just, like, making him headbutt each other. Oh. And then he's like, mine.
Yeah, and then he just starts slamming on buttons to make... And then Muriel ends up just doing everything but what's normal. He doesn't realize he can see what she sees either. For any audio listeners, Dpayne is clearly reenacting what Muriel was stuck doing. just wheeling around in his chair.
I don't want to wheel around too much and actually break something.
I think my favorite part is when Muriel just ends up walking along the ceiling and the chef is still just like doing his thing, completely unworried.
And they're just like, what the?
And the Ducks show that they have an extra controller and disappear and come back, and they show that they've got Eustace in the helmet as well. And eventually Courage is able to get Muriel out of the facility, and it turns into... what's the kids' game?
Rock'em Sock'em Robots.
Yes. And this is why I try to use the punching segue, Dpayne punching ghost girls. Instead, we have Muriel...
I never said it was a girl.
Ghost child.
Yes. These hands are rated E for everybody.
And then,
That's going to be used against me.
Then, so we have them doing the Rock'em Sock'em a whole bunch. I think, Muriel wins the first round, Eustace wins the second round, and then it ultimately ends up in a tie where they're both laying there crisscross with their necks, like, completely stretched out like the robots.
I wonder if that feels good.
I don't imagine so, but I have seen videos of people that will go to the gym and go to, like, the pull-up bar. Yeah. And they say they're going to decompress their spine. That seems nice.
Yeah. It's like I've seen a couple of videos in there. And then there was somebody I saw videos and was like, I'm actually going to measure it. And then they just, like, keep moving. And it's not really clear if the line is where they started. But I think the amount of time you were supposed to, like, hang to decompress it Like she's like, my arms are tired. I'm done.
But yeah, so then once they end up in a tie, the two brothers, being the siblings that they are, just continuously fight and make things even worse for themselves and start crying. And Courage eventually goes up and is like, "What's wrong, buddies? What is it that you actually need it?" So they mention that since Courage stopped them, now their brother's going to end up cooked and they can't save him right away. And then they begin arguing about whose plan was right and whose plan was wrong. And Courage is like, hey guys, I have a better idea. And Strider watched this episode with me, and Strider's like, Courage was fully willing to help. Why did Courage agree to put on the helmet if he was fully willing to help? But then we realize it's because Courage wanted superpowers.
I also think it's just because he's a giant coward. So
he needed the help
to make sure he actually went through.
Yeah, and then, but before Courage goes in, he decides to scan various things in this secret government facility. Gets to see these creepy, crawly creatures. I don't know how to explain either of them because one was
there's 3.
Oh, there was a third one. The one that sticks out to me is the big red one. That's kind of a dinosaur head, but also
that one I think comes back later.
Oh, okay.
I think
a reoccurring character.
Let me see.
Oh, it does say alien species 559.
The middle one it's green in there. He comes back as blue. I remember him. He comes back in a later episode, which I know what he does. It's no plot relevant thing. But yeah, he comes back. I think there's I'm looking through the notes.
I see
here.
In the trivia they say 559 comes back as the space dino. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So it wasn't red, it was blue. Or at least it's blue in the...
It's blue in there. I just watched the episode about an hour ago, so I'm pretty sure it's green in there. I'm just trying to see in the synopsis if they mention which ones there are.
Does this one have a transcript?
It
does not.
It does not. But yeah, I think it was normal little gray, a gray head. I think that's what they're normally called, but your stereotypical alien is in there,
like Area 51 kind of alien.
And then the one that comes back, which looks like a it looks like a derpy giraffe. is the best way of putting it. And then there's a head or something, like a fuzzy red one.
That's I do remember that one.
And then after that is when he goes in,
finds the kitchen.
Strudel.
Yes. Oh yeah, and then also he for some reason ends up having to destroy the alarm bell, which wasn't going off when Muriel went into the building. But again, she's a little sweet little lady.
A sweet little lady. He's a mad dog.
Yeah, he's so vicious. Oh, Courage. Yes. Oh, and I remember laughing because Muriel also, while she has the helmet on, she does have a weird, thick German accent. Because when she first runs into the chef is like, "What do you want?" And she's like, "Dog."
Dog. Yes.
And then you have Courage come in and, like you were saying, Courage steals the duck brother, and he goes, "What will I prepare for dinner?"
Strudel.
He goes, "Oh, wonderful idea." So all 3 brothers are reunited, end up going back to their ship, but immediately begin arguing because siblings. And
why are you trying to hide your feelings?
Then
we're duck brothers. We shouldn't be laying eggs.
Oh yes, all 3 of them simultaneously start crying and laying eggs. And the one that was fighting about not laying eggs was, upset that he got caught laying an egg, and things ensue. My favorite bit is the very end where they left the helmet on Eustace, and Muriel and Courage are getting served breakfast in bed, which is one egg and orange juice. It's not much of a breakfast, but it's breakfast in bed. And Muriel's like, oh, he's in such a nice mood today. This is nice. And Courage is like,
technology.
Go ahead.
Oh, well, if you were done with that, I had some trivia. We could talk about the episode. Which, this is the first appearance of the Duck Brothers, which, according to that piece of trivia, it sounds like they'll be back. I'm not clicking their Wikipedia article, because that would require me to leave the trivia thing. And then, apparently, there was a bunch of questions if the Duck Brothers were voiced by Ringo Starr. It pretty much, there is no confirmation of who really voiced the Duck Brothers. So apparently it's up to speculation. However, it is confirmed, like after that interview, and then later on IMDb, if you look at it, Will Ryan voiced them, imitating Ringo Starr, which is why people got confused.
That would be a crazy pool to have as a voice actor,
well,
unlike a children's TV show.
Well, he did. Like, he was in a children's TV show. The Sunshine Station, which was the Thomas the Tank Engine TV show. He was the conductor.
See, that sounds more like a show that someone from the Beatles would be on. Not Courage the Cowardly Dog.
In season 1.
Yeah.
Hey, but to be fair, this was the first episode of the year 2000. And then another thing I know I wrote... Well, I said... This was definitely felt like a Looney Tunes skit, which apparently when they're kind of the whole thing where they're just setting the rules after they do the low blow, and they're just like, you can't do this, this, and this, and he's like, oh yes, I get it, you got to do this, and he's like, oh, they think they got it, and but they said that was apparently a callback to. Oh, that's funny. I didn't read the full thing, which is what I wrote. Is that it was a callback that closely resembles a joke in the Looney Tunes, to Duck or Not to Duck. But then the sound effects with each attack and that they do is what I wrote, very similar to the Three Stooges. Mm-hmm. So, but yeah, that's
fun. Yeah, I clicked through the Wikipedia article for the Duck Brothers. And it does turn out that they have a revisit to the show. But as far as I can tell, it's not till season 4. So we will not see them again this podcast.
Unless we get to see... Well, yeah. I was just thinking...
we have a lot planned. Yeah.
What? Us planning stuff? Weird.
Never us. Okay, so that was that episode. It was fun. I think it's a pretty silly, goofy episode, but not one of my favorite ones personally for Courage. And I realized I forgot to ask you for last week's episode. Are they episodes you'd rewatch with your niece? But we can save them all for
I'll
the
save
very
that
end.
We can save that for the end. It was probably good because there was a lot of talking from me.
Yeah. So then we have the next episode, which is Shirley the Medium.
Not the rare.
Not the large.
Or the medium well.
Not the over easy. But yeah, I really like this episode. The basic premise of this is we learn some more lore about Eustace, that apparently he has a brother who Muriel thinks is a great guy, and she keeps saying, it surely is a shame that you couldn't get along better with your brother. And Eustace only keeps complaining that he deserved money that his brother supposedly had. And we see this picture of Eustace's brother where he has like lizard tail wrapped around him or vines wrapped around him while he's in like the jungle explorer outfit. I thought
it was a snake, but
it could have been a snake. It felt like to me when I was watching it like an iguana tail. Like it was green and a normal color but had spikes. But I could be mistaken.
Yeah, I don't remember.
Yeah, but his name is Horst. A very normal name, and one that I won't struggle saying while talking about this. But Courage was looking for his poor yo-yo, and instead happens upon this really heavy lockbox. Brings it to Eustace, and Eustace is just sitting there. The money! This stupid box! I don't have a clue of where it is. dog, don't talk to me unless you have a clue to this box. To which Courage drops it on his foot, and Eustace is like, oh, it's the box. And decides to pick the weirdest way to open a box that requires a key by taking a wrench and just or pliers and just like trying to turn it, and it makes absolutely no sense.
By the way, it was purple with spikes.
Oh, purple with spikes, even weirder. Then we have, I think Muriel's watching TV and she sees an advertisement for a medium who can speak with the dead. And she tells Eustace it could be a great idea so that Eustace can finally make amends with his brother. And Eustace goes, "Where's the key?" And immediately spends the entire time with the medium that they bring over, who's Shirley. And the joke that Strider and I laughed about is that when they open the door, they all look like up looking for Shirley, expecting to see like a taller person there. And I was like, wait a second, isn't Shirley going to be eye level with Courage? And then they just pan out and she is indeed eye level with Courage. But Courage was also looking like towards the sky trying to look for this person. And she's basically like this little cat. I always saw her as a cat. Does it say whether or not she's a cat?
I can look it up.
Okay.
Chihuahua.
Chihuahua.
I could see like kind of those hairless cats.
It's the pointier ears, but I assumed it was a cat.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah. Oh, and then Courage, when he was trying to figure out what was in the box, he could hear growling from it and tried to warn Eustace from opening it. But of course, Eustace is like, dog, you go over here. I want my money. Nothing's going to stop me from my money. So Shirley begins and sets up a seance for them. And my favorite part is her dial tone. She leans back with her mouth open to try and contact the dead. Nobody answers at first, and Eustace is like, try again. And she's like, he doesn't want to talk to you. Stop trying to make it happen. So they try again, and instead, Muriel's aunt... Oh, what was her aunt's name?
Let's see...
Gertrude. Aunt Gertrude.
Yes.
Ends up answering the line and immediately goes, "Are you putting vinegar in?" And Muriel's like, "Vinegar and raspberry jam." And they start like, doing niceties, but Muriel's fighting about the recipe. And Eustace gets annoyed and is like, "Hey, stop taking up the line." Which again is something very much our time growing up where you can't have multiple phone calls at the same time.
Yeah, or the internet.
And phone calls. They will fight each other. But yes, so then Eustace shouts at them to hang up and demands that they try calling Horst again. And Shirley is like, you know what? Okay, fine. And he does eventually answer. And Muriel's trying to tell Eustace to be nice. Eustace is cutting her off and just asking for the key and for money and all these different things. And he goes, "It's not for you. What's in the box is not for you," and keeps repeating that line. Mm-hmm. And then Horst is like, you know what? Fine. If you're going to be so annoying about it, check the lining of your hat. And the key was in the lining of his hat. And I, watching it, was like, how long ago did he plant this key? And how long has he been dead that Eustace has never noticed a key in his hat?
How long has he had this hat?
But yeah, so Eustace basically is like, this is everything I want, gives Shirley what she needs, shoos her out of the house, and says like he's done with her, and immediately goes to open the box, to which two massive monster like ghost hands. Oh, I could have used that segue for you too. Big ol' ghost hands.
Yeah. Catch these hands.
Pop out of the box and immediately try to grab and pull Eustace in and try and grab Muriel as well. I think Muriel's holding on to like the radiator and Eustace is just like holding on to whatever else is around. Courage goes up to the clothesline in the backyard, looks up at it and goes, "Oh, I have to fold it and put it in the basket first," and goes and folds the laundry and grabs the clothesline to try and save them. And Muriel even points out, she's like, "Oh, my clothesline, did you fold the laundry?" And Courage says yes, and she goes, "Oh, such a nice dog." And then the clothesline is somehow long enough to tie around Muriel and Eustace, and then around the house like 3 times to keep everything in place. And while they're trying to hold on, Courage manages to find Shirley while she's preparing to be on set for her like nighttime psychic readings. And she comes back and just like kicks the box.
Oh, I was just gonna say she has my favorite line. The stupid one opened the box. Oh.
So then she comes back and kicks the box, to which the hands like crawl back into the box and freeze them. But Eustace, being Eustace, decides to just go in anyway. And and when they shut the box, $100 bill pops out, and Shirley's just like, yoink, and that's mine. And he gets immediately sucked into the box. And while he's in the box, he's screaming and cheering about it. I'm rich. There's so much money here. I'm so rich. And then after he like cheers about it, he goes, where am I going to spend the money?
Yeah,
What am I going to...
Not how am I getting out? Where am I going to spend it?
And Muriel's essentially like sitting next to this box on a rocking chair. And Eustace is like, I'm hungry. And she's like, not until you come out of the box, dear.
Can I buy some of that jam? Not until you find your way out. And where's that key?
Yeah, so he complains about the key, and Courage does the big reveal that Courage has the key, which is a very Courage thing to do, because of course he doesn't like Eustace.
These 2 episodes are just Courage getting revenge.
Good for Courage.
Unbeknownst to Eustace.
I don't know if I have anything else that really needs to be added on. Is there any fun trivia?
There was one thing that you kind of skipped over that was cracking me up the whole time, was in the very beginning of the episode, Courage is looking for his yo-yo.
Oh, yes, and he goes and asks the fortune teller with some of her time, because at first, they don't get a hold of Horst, and then Courage goes, yo-yo? She goes...
under the cat's cushion.
And he jogs over and plays with his yo-yo and then puts it back and goes, okay. And then goes back to sit for the seance. And the other thing I forgot to mention that was silly with Courage is after the call with Aunt Gertrude, Muriel starts like, she's simmering something on a pot, and Courage is trying to like explain to her, I think, that the hands are coming for Eustace. And Muriel stuffs the spoon of hot liquid into Courage's mouth, and he's like, oh! And she's like, too much vinegar. I'll put less vinegar for the final raspberry jam.
Yep.
It's like her aunt made her so upset that she's like, I gotta prove to her raspberry and vinegar don't go together in the jam. And doesn't she end? Oh yeah, and then she makes it by the end and goes, yes, it is delicious. And that's why Eustace is like, can I buy some jam?
Yeah. The only really trivia, which I think we kind of mentioned in season episode 2, was that Muriel, this is like the start of her using like the secret ingredient is vinegar. Like that is a gag whenever she's doing like, there's a later episode, I don't think it's in this season, when she kind of goes to a cooking contest with Mad Cats, and he has like this whole like thing set up, and she's just makes it and wins. He's like, my secret ingredient is vinegar, and they're just like, what? That doesn't make sense. And like at the time I remember hearing that, I'm like, oh, makes sense to me. Me now, I'm like, no, I think I'm on the cat side for this one. Like, you got to be real careful with that. Yeah, everything else was kind of just mentioned already. There really wasn't a ton of trivia.
Okay. I like this comment from July 7th of 2021 on this Wikipedia. It's so matter-of-fact about the show so many years later. It just reads, Eustace's greed will be the death of him. As a matter of fact, I think it was in King Ramses' curse. Spoilers.
Yep. It's literally the next episode.
But it's just like such like a... That feels like an essay, like, response to something. You're in school, and you go, what will happen to Eustace if he keeps feeding into all of this greed? Well, in fact, I think it does. It causes him ruin.
Welcome to my TED Talk.
No, I do like Shirley as a character. She's very fun.
Yes. It's still that line. The stupid one. He opened the box, yes? Uh-huh. It's just, I like that delivery a lot. But I guess to answer your question, for the past 2 episodes, would I show them to my niece? I don't think there's anything wrong with Night of the Weremole. I think that one's a pretty fun one. Like, it's kind of slapstick and goofy. Mother's Day, I don't have a problem watching it, all that, but I don't know how that's between my brother and his whole relationship stuff. I don't know how much he would want to focus on that. But I don't see anything wrong with that episode. It's a very sweet episode. Duck Brothers, and I think both these episodes are fine. Like, the Duck Brothers, it's just silly. And Shirley the Medium, I don't think I would say for her not to watch it. I just don't think she would understand what is actually happening. I think she would
hands are pretty obvious.
With the medium talking to the the ghost and stuff.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I don't see a problem with it, but at the same time, I could see there being confusion. Sorry, I just laughed because I just saw there's an episode called Heads of Beef.
Big old heads of beef. I was looking at the Wikipedia page for Shirley. And the thing that I like is they have listed out friends, enemies, likes, and dislikes. So apparently Shirley's friends are Courage and Muriel, which I think is true of pretty much anyone on the show. Either they want to capture and bother Courage and Muriel, or they're just friends with her. Yeah. There's no ifs, ands, or buts. But then under her enemies, Eustace, D-Long, who was the car driver.
Oh, you fool!
And then it says Velvet Vic and Giant Starfish. I don't think either of those are in season 1. Oh, Velvet Vic might be, now that I opened him up.
Let's see. He might be. Yeah, I don't know.
Oh, no. He's in season 3. Let's see.
Sorry, I'm laughing at his dislikes. Being trapped and being upstaged.
And then Shirley likes money, casting curses, helping Courage, contacting spirits, and playing the saxophone. I wonder if they're in order. Like, from most favorite to least favorite.
Yeah. Well, then dislikes. Eustace. Made the list twice. And spring cleaning.
I also hate spring cleaning. Let's see. So, for the Duck Brothers, I figured I'd check them. Their family just lists each other. And their friends, it just lists Courage. And nothing else. But I do like the quote that they have. I told you we should have asked. You never told me about that. Yes, I did. No, you didn't. You were busy laying eggs. Stop talking about my eggs. Eggs.
Eggs. Yeah. Actually, I think that's when he's... Oh, no, I can't remember. That's when he offers to help. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Because the one brother's like, I told you we should have just asked for help. He's like, who would we have asked? What? You never brought that up. Sibling behavior. I wonder if I click on Courage's page.
What would show up?
Yeah, so he's got family. He has so many friends and so many enemies. It's so funny.
The enemies are bigger than the friends.
But yeah, I like how the early ones are Muriel, Shirley Medium, Dr. Vindaloo, Computer, mostly.
Yes.
And then some of these other characters we haven't met yet, so I'm not going to mention them.
D-Lung, sometimes. Is D-Lung on the... D-Lung is also in enemies.
Sometimes. Yeah, I like these. Eustace, mostly. Cat's arch enemy. Le Quack.
Oh, man. So... Yeah, but there's other things.
He likes Muriel. Makes sense. Digging, playing with friends, laying in Muriel's lap, Bones, his yo-yo. Muriel's cooking, root beer, pie, traveling, and building sandcastles. He was very obsessed with pie in the Bigfoot episode. Because Muriel was like, if you're gonna eat the pie, at least get a plate, even though he was slammed against the wall with the pie tin indented with his face.
Yep.
Quotes, the things I do for love.
That's not the first one. Ooh! And I it's too late for me to do the last one.
It's totally okay.
So this is fun. Like powers and skills. Powerful lungs. Shape-shifting, which, yeah, we talk about that a lot. Superhuman qualities. Courage displayed an inhuman amount of resistance to physical pain in many episodes. Able to withstand assault from a robot version of himself and take loads of damage. As it seems he is invincible to being killed. He's also superhumanly strong and fast, which is evidence when he hopped off. Wait, he hopped the entire way to Paris in an episode, and then he picked up the God Bone multiple times in size and used it as an attack. What the heck is the God Bone? Okay, I clicked on it. It's a giant bone. He also has regeneration, which, yep, and materialization, where he's just able to pull random things out of thin air. And then other skills, such as cooking, fixing things, survival, tracking, and fourth wall breaking.
A lot of fourth wall breaking. He's very good at that.
Apparently, he can also lay eggs.
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 So I saw a bunch of the comments on Courage's page I was curious about that. They're like, how is he a beagle? I don't see beagle. I just see him as,
Is that what they say he is?
if you go to physical appearance, they put parentheses beagle. I'm like, I think he's just kind of a mixed breed dog.
That's what they say. Possibly a mixed breed.
Parentheses beagle.
Yeah. I don't know. I think every beagle I see is like super overweight.
Just a sausage with legs.
Mm-hmm. There's a giant rabbit on here too. This is a question. How old is he? And then, hold up. My mom thought he was a pit bull. Mr. Worldwide.
Some of the comments are funny.
Yes. But that, unless there's anything else, I think it kind of brings that to an end.
Yeah, I mean, these episodes were really fun, but they weren't particularly deep. There's not much else that I could think to add to them.
Yeah, I think we're getting... I think with some of these, they're definitely fun, but it's not like...
They're not connected to anything else.
It's not like Over the Garden Wall.
Or Gravity Falls.
Which apparently there's rumors of a season 3.
Yeah, he released that book.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's been more Bill animations getting leaked or something like that, or Bill like shorts on the internet, so people are curious and suspicious, so that's fun.
Yeah, I think because one of the guys I work with, his kids are one of his kids is very into it, and apparently they say there's like a rumor that it's gonna be like it was like
Bill origin story.
Bill, yeah, which I'm just like, I thought it was already kind of mentioned, but I'm like, at the other hand, I'm like, I don't think I would want a Bill origin story.
I mean, I guess it would make sense since the book that came out recently was the Book of Bill. I didn't get myself a copy. I didn't know if you did. Okay.
No. I figured it was just going to be sold out.
That's usually how it goes, especially with Gravity Falls having basically not been talked about by the main creator for quite a while. Mm-hmm. So I'm sure there's lots of
We were early. We manifested this.
I can dream.
Yes, just like how we'd also dream of Walter and David.
No, they dream of each other.
Well, I think one just dreams of the other.
For anyone curious, look up the Alien series episode Oh, which one is
It's
it?
Prometheus and
Is it Prometheus or is it the one
Covenant.
after?
Covenant.
Covenant is.
Covenant's what we're talking about. I don't know if Romulus. I hope David Fassbender comes back and it's just another version of him of that.
He has a third name.
Yeah.
That would be very silly.
Gerald. Sorry, I'm just I this doesn't have to do with anything with the podcast. I'm just gonna send this to you.
Oh no. Is this when we're getting too tired? Too ha-has?
This is what happens when I am looking at Twitter while we're recording. And may have been why I brought up.
Oh my, I hate it. I am kind to animals on an eye. Mm-hmm. Yep. Sure. Yes. Good. Anyway.
I guess the other bubble could be also, you could say, I am your father.
While I went to my Google Drive, and because it's mainly alphabetical, what Alien and Predator movie bracket is high up, since we're kind of on this subject. And I just love that Prey came in as 2 for being such a new movie.
I think we just watched at the right time because of just
after Predators and Predator 20. What year was it that one was particularly bad?
2017.
2017.
I don't know.
And then the AVPs. Yes.
All Predator movies we can find out. The Predators was 2010.
Okay. The Predator 2010. That one.
Yeah, Predators was 2010. The Predator was 2018, which is when we have the criminals. The Predators is the alien planet one.
Oh, right. I keep blocking them out of my memory. Because it started out so strong with the first Alien and the first Predator, and then it just immediately...
she froze. I don't know. Her internet died.
Also, I can't tell if I lost internet or if Dpayne lost internet.
Well, she hasn't messaged me, but I'm going to assume, seeing how she froze, I'm going to just ramble for a second. I'm just going to call it there, everybody. So it's just me now, and I don't even know if Hop can hear me. I'm just half expecting her to just disconnect from the call. But, there she goes. So anyway, everybody, thank you so much for watching. We'll be back next week where we'll be talking about King. We'll do the 2 episodes. King Ramsay. Hold up. She messaged me. Hold on. She might come back in. I'm finding out. I'm getting live. Okay. So we'll find out if she joins in later. I guess until then, I can just share a story. I can't think of one off the top of my head. Could you imagine a world where elephants have too many, they could go grocery shopping, and their grocery shopping, they could just be I'm going to buy 32 boxes of Cheerios. But what kind of Cheerios? What kind of Cheerio would an elephant purchase? The other question is this a Babar situation where the elephant wears clothes? If not, where keep wallet? One may ask. Thoughts, questions, possible answers, but most likely not. Because elephants, if they did have clothes, then that would mean that they could also have the right to bear cheese. And everybody knows when an elephant has too much cheese, it could be quite dangerous. But then this also brings up the question of, could elephants go to space? And if they went to space, what would they do there? Me, I don't know what they would do. They could possibly, I don't know, maybe they'll find the future. Oh, I'm getting a message. Okay, it looks like her internet's gone, so I think I'll hold up. She's typing. All right, she told me I'm allowed to end the episode. So, would elephants wear spacesuits? I'll leave that up to you. But anyway, that is it. I'm going to call it an end of the episode, and I will see you guys. We will see you guys all next week as we talk about King Ramses' curse and the clutching foot, and we will both watch them when we talk about it. So anyway, that is it. Y'all have a good night, good morning, and until next time, peace.